the grace and power of a modern icon. She moves with the elegance of a runway model and commands the screen with the force of a warrior. Gal Gadot is not just a Hollywood actress, she is a global icon, a modern embodiment of grace, resilience, and power. In a world that often mistakes glamour for depth, Gadot bridges both with striking authenticity. From the glitzy streets of Beverly Hills to her serene family life away from the spotlight, her journey is as inspiring as it is cinematic. She didn't come from Hollywood royalty. There were no silver spoons or industry favors waiting for her in the wings. What Gal Gadot has built is entirely her own. A towering legacy sculpted through determination, discipline, and an uncanny ability to choose roles that echo her real-life persona. As of 2025, she sits at the apex of fame and influence. With blockbuster films under her belt, multi-million-dollar brand endorsements, and a presence that radiates both on and off screen, Gadot's lifestyle is the perfect fusion of luxury and authenticity. But behind the camera, behind the makeup and designer gowns, lies the story of a woman who once dreamed from a small town in Israel. This is the story of Gal Gadot, her rise, her riches, her real life. From Hollywood homes to heartfelt family moments, we're peeling back the curtain on one of the world's most beloved stars. Humble beginnings, from Rosh Hashanah to the world stage. Gal Gadot was born on April 30th, 1985, in Rosh Hashanah, a quiet Israeli city far removed from the flashing cameras of Hollywood. Her upbringing was modest, rooted in strong cultural values and close-knit family ties. Her mother, a teacher, and her father, an engineer, instilled in her the importance of discipline and humility. There were no casting agents knocking at the door, no childhood film auditions, just the rhythms of a typical Israeli household and a young girl with dreams too big for her hometown. Growing up, Gadot was athletic and curious, gravitating toward sports like volleyball, basketball, and tennis. She was fiercely competitive, with a quiet intensity that hinted at the strength she'd later bring to her roles. At 18, like all Israeli citizens, she served in the Israel Defense Forces, where she trained as a combat instructor. The experience gave her a unique resilience and discipline that would later become integral to her Hollywood persona. It was here that Gadot first learned the value of physical and mental endurance, a training ground not just for soldiers, but unknowingly for future superheroes. Her military background set her apart in ways that casting directors would eventually find irresistible. But at that point, acting wasn't even on the radar. In fact, her path was headed in an entirely different direction. Beauty, brains, and determination. Miss Israel to law student Gal Gadot never set out to be a beauty queen. In fact, when she entered the Miss Israel pageant at the age of 18, it was mostly on a whim. She didn't expect to win, but she did. And almost overnight, her name became a household one across the country. The title brought modeling contracts, photo shoots, and media attention. But fame wasn't something she chased. Not yet. Following her reign, Gadot took a sharp turn away from the limelight. She enrolled at IDC Herzliya, a prestigious Israeli university, to study law and international relations. Her focus was academic, her vision to become a lawyer. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. While studying, she was invited to audition for the role of Bond girl Camille Montes in Quantum of Solace. She didn't land the part, but the experience sparked something in her. Soon after, casting directors began to notice her more seriously. Her unique combination of beauty, poise, and physical strength, thanks to her military background, made her a standout. She was striking, but also grounded. Modeling jobs continued to roll in, but Gadot was never content to be just a pretty face. She had substance, and she wanted her career to reflect that. Her determination was quiet but fierce, and Hollywood was listening. Breaking through, a fast start in Hollywood. In 2009, Gal Gadot's fate changed forever. She landed the role of Giselle Yasher in Fast and Furious, marking her Hollywood debut. Unlike most newcomers, she brought a unique authenticity to the action-packed franchise. She performed her own stunts, drew from her military training, and quickly won over audiences with her blend of toughness and elegance. The role of Giselle wasn't originally intended to be a recurring one, But Gadot's performance was so magnetic, she was brought back for multiple sequels. With each appearance, her fan base grew. She wasn't just another actress in an ensemble cast. She was becoming a standout in one of Hollywood's most adrenaline-fueled franchises. And yet, even as she carved a place for herself in Hollywood, she never lost touch with her roots. Interviews from this period show a woman still grounded, often returning to Israel, prioritizing her family, and treating fame with a kind of graceful detachment. But it was clear she was just getting started. That same quiet intensity she'd shown on the basketball court as a teenager was now propelling her through the competitive world of American cinema. Casting directors saw it, audiences felt it, and soon the world would know her not just as Giselle, but as a symbol of something much greater. Becoming Wonder Woman, the role that changed everything. Gal Gadot didn't just play Wonder Woman, she became her. In 2016, the announcement that this relatively unknown Israeli actress would step into the boots of one of the most iconic superheroes in comic book history was met with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. But what followed was a revelation. When Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice hit theaters in 2016, audiences were instantly captivated by the magnetic presence of a warrior princess who exuded both compassion and raw power. It wasn't just a role, it was a redefinition. Gadot trained for months, martial arts, horseback riding, weight training, pushing her body to the brink in order to portray Diana of Themyscira with authenticity. But it wasn't her physical transformation alone that resonated, it was her poise, her empathy, the humanity she brought to a character previously seen as untouchable. In Wonder Woman, 2017, she wasn't a sidekick or a supporting character, she carried the entire film. And she did so with grace, humor, and a steel will. The film shattered records and expectations. It was the first female-led superhero blockbuster in over a decade, and it was directed by a woman, Patty Jenkins. Gal and Patty became a force, pushing boundaries in an industry not known for championing female narratives. The success wasn't just commercial, it was cultural. Girls around the world dressed as Wonder Woman, seeing themselves as strong, capable, and worthy. Gadot, overnight, became a symbol, not just of strength, but of hope. With sequels, spin-offs, and even animated cameos, Gal's portrayal of Wonder Woman has become definitive. A mantle not easily earned, but unquestionably hers. Hollywood royalty, Gal's growing empire. By 2025, Gal Gadot is no longer just a movie star, she's a brand, an empire unto herself. With a reported net worth exceeding $40 million and growing, she stands among Hollywood's most bankable and respected names. But this wasn't built on celebrity alone. Behind her radiant smile lies sharp business acumen and a tireless work ethic. In addition to her acting income, Gadot has become a sought-after face for luxury brands. Her collaborations with Revlon, Gucci, and Huawei, among others, have added millions to her portfolio. But endorsement deals are only part of the story. Together with her husband, Jaron Varsano, Gal co-founded Pilot Wave, a production company aimed at creating impactful, female-driven stories. Through it, she stepped into roles as a producer and creative lead, backing projects she believes in, ones that amplify underrepresented voices. Her choices reflect a woman in control of her narrative. She's selective with roles, often opting for characters that align with her values: strength, justice, integrity. From playing Cleopatra in an upcoming historical epic to tackling espionage thrillers like Heart of Stone, Gadot is weaving a legacy across genres. What's perhaps most compelling is that she's managed all this without ever losing the authenticity that made her beloved in the first place. In an industry known for reinvention and masks, Gal's sincerity shines through. She's royalty, not because she demands it, but because she earns it every single day. Life behind the glamour, Gal's Hollywood homes. While the world sees her in red carpet gowns and designer heels, Gal Gadot lives a life far more grounded than many might expect. Her real estate holdings reflect a blend of sophistication and serenity, each property a reflection of the woman behind the wonder. In Los Angeles, her primary residence is a sun-drenched modern home nestled in the Hollywood Hills. a sanctuary of floor-to-ceiling glass, minimalist design, and panoramic views of the city below. It's where she hosts friends, reads scripts, and practices yoga in the morning light. The home isn't ostentatious. Instead, it feels intentional. Warm wood tones, soft furnishings, and art that nods to her Israeli roots. Across the world, she and her family maintain a stunning penthouse in Tel Aviv, a space that feels more like a luxury retreat than a city apartment. With Mediterranean views, a private rooftop garden, and open-plan living spaces, it reflects her deep connection to home. Despite her global fame, Israel remains central to who she is. It's where her family lives, where her children are growing up with Hebrew lullabies and ocean air. Gal has often said that her dream homes are not about size or spectacle, but about peace and privacy. Her properties reflect this ethos, not just as places to live, but as sanctuaries from a world that never stops watching. Love and Family, anchored by Jaron Varsano. Behind the success, the glamour, and the headlines is a quiet love story that has stood the test of time. Gal Gadot met Jaron Varsano, a Dutch-Israeli businessman and real estate developer, in 2006 at a yoga retreat in the Israeli desert. She was just 21. He was 10 years older, but the connection was instant and unshakable. 2 years later, they married. Over time, their bond only deepened. While Gal conquered Hollywood, Jaron remained her anchor, supportive, grounded, and fiercely proud of her achievements. He often appears by her side on red carpets, not as a celebrity husband, but as a partner, a collaborator, someone who shares her vision for life, family, and business. Together, they've raised 3 daughters, Alma, Maya, and Daniela, in a home filled with warmth, structure, and unconditional love. Despite Gal's fame, they've kept their family life remarkably private, sharing glimpses only on their terms. Whether it's baking with the girls on weekends or escaping to the beach for a family holiday, their world revolves around moments that matter. Jaron is more than a husband. He's also Gal's business partner. The couple co-founded Pilot Wave in 2019, a move that cemented their creative partnership as well. It's a rare kind of synergy, where love, trust, and ambition all coexist in harmony. In an industry littered with fleeting romances, Gal and Jaron's story is a reminder that lasting love still exists, and that sometimes, behind every powerful woman is a man who's walking beside her, not in front or behind. Style, grace, and global influence. Gal as a modern muse. Gal Gadot is more than a movie star. She's a global muse, a fashion icon, and a voice of empowerment. Whether she's striding down the red carpet in haute couture or posting a barefaced selfie with her daughters, she exudes a natural elegance that transcends trends. Her style isn't just curated, it's a reflection of who she is, refined, confident, and effortlessly authentic. Luxury brands clamor to work with her, not only because of her global appeal, but because she embodies what the modern woman represents. She has walked for Givenchy, worn Valentino at premieres, and served as a brand ambassador for Tiffany & Company, but none of it feels performative. Gal's fashion is an extension of her narrative, never overshadowing her identity, only enhancing it. But beyond the wardrobe is the influence she wields. With over 100 million followers across social platforms, she's not just sharing outfits, she's shaping conversations. She uses her voice to champion equality, mental health, women's rights, and education. Her posts mix glamour with vulnerability, showing moments of strength and softness, struggle and triumph. In interviews, she often speaks about the importance of kindness and lifting others. She leads not with volume, but with presence. A calm, assured presence that's rare in an age of constant noise. She donates regularly to causes that matter to her, from children's hospitals to veteran organizations and women's shelters. She may have started as a model and an actress, but in 2025, Gal Gadot is a symbol of poise, purpose, and power. The kind of influence that doesn't fade when the lights go out. A private light, balancing fame with normalcy. Fame, for most, is a double-edged sword. It offers glamour, wealth, and adoration. but at the cost of privacy, normalcy, and peace. Gal Gadot has managed to find the rarest of balances, a life where both can coexist. Despite being one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, Gadot is fiercely protective of her private life. She doesn't live for the spotlight, she navigates it. Her social media presence is deliberate, often celebrating small moments, playing guitar with her kids, eating birthday cake in pajamas, sipping coffee on a quiet morning. When she's not filming or promoting, she disappears into normalcy. She picks up her children from school, goes for runs without an entourage, and takes long breaks between projects to be fully present with her family. It's this conscious step back that keeps her centered, even as her star continues to rise. In interviews, she's candid about burnout, pressure, and the unrealistic expectations often placed on women in the public eye. Her honesty is disarming, and it's won her fans far beyond the movie theater. People see themselves in her, not just the Wonder Woman who saves the day, but the woman who gets tired, overwhelmed, and keeps going anyway. Gal's ability to stay grounded doesn't come from denial of fame, it comes from understanding it. She knows its reach, respects its weight, but never lets it define her. That delicate balance is what makes her feel so human, so accessible, even from behind the walls of Hollywood stardom. What's next? The future of Gal Gadot. As of 2025, Gal Gadot shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, she's just entering her prime, not only as an actress, but as a producer, a businesswoman, and a cultural force. Her upcoming slate of projects is as ambitious as it is diverse, reflecting a woman who refuses to be boxed in. She's set to star in and produce the long-anticipated Cleopatra biopic, a passion project years in the making. The film aims to reframe the Egyptian queen's legacy, not as a seductress, but as a brilliant strategist, leader, and icon of feminine power. It's a role that mirrors Gal's own ethos: fierce, intelligent, commanding. Her action thriller, Heart of Stone, is also evolving into a potential franchise, solidifying her as a female lead in a genre long dominated by men. Meanwhile, she's producing several original series through Pilot Wave, including international thrillers and grounded dramas that spotlight underrepresented voices. But even as her career expands, Gadot is careful with her time. She speaks often about the importance of rest, boundaries, and meaningful work. She's not interested in quantity, she's building a legacy, one thoughtful, powerful project at a time. There are whispers of a directorial debut on the horizon, and with her track record, it wouldn't be a surprise to see her behind the camera in the next few years, shaping stories not just with her performance, but with her vision. The future of Gal Gadot isn't just bright, it's intentional, and that makes all the difference. Legacy in motion. More than a superhero, Gal Gadot's story isn't just one of fame, fortune, and red carpets. It's a story of evolution, from a small-town girl with big dreams to a global figure whose impact stretches far beyond cinema. Her legacy is not confined to the role of Wonder Woman, though it will always be a part of her. It lives in the lives she's touched, the strength she's inspired, and the grace she's modeled in a world often lacking it. She's shown that power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's quiet. It's in the way she treats people, the way she listens, the way she lives. As we watch her continue to rise, as a mother, a leader, an artist, we're reminded that true icons don't just entertain. They endure, they elevate, they evolve. Gal Gadot is not just playing a superhero on screen. She's embodying one in life. And for millions around the world, that's where her true legacy lies. If you've enjoyed this journey into Gal's world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories of icons who continue to shape our world with light, strength, and unstoppable grace.